Deepwater Horizon, I'm telling you guys, this movie gives a whole new meaning to the word pressure. Welcome to KM Reviews. I am Niddleman. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to get updated movie reviews every single week. This time I'm reviewing Deepwater Horizon, and let me tell you, this movie is fucking intense. Okay, let's remember, this is directed by Peter Berg, the guy who brought us Lone Survivor, so he is not new to putting us on the edge of our seats, doing action, showing how things can feel so tense, okay, and he does not fail to deliver in this movie. Basically, it's based on the true story of this oil rig, the Deepwater Horizon, that was the biggest oil disaster in history, and they show you the snowball effect of everything that led up one after another to what led to this disaster, and they do it in a way that treats us as we're smart individuals, but obviously not everyone knows how these oil rigs work, so they do a good job at teaching us exactly how the system should work, what it's supposed to be like, and why everything that goes wrong and why it leads to this disaster. So they treat us in a good way. The storytelling is so well done that we understand what's going wrong as it's going wrong, which builds that tension, and you're like, oh my god, how did they not see this is going on? Oh Jesus, and you're on the edge of your seat for a big portion of this movie. And when hell arrives, and let me tell you, hell does arrive for these guys. Many of them lose their lives, and it is just, to be honest, I'm surprised anyone survived this thing, because when I said at the beginning of this review, this movie defines, and it's like it gives a whole new meaning to the word pressure. It's because I was picturing this movie to show, oh, there's this tube and it shoots some oil up and somebody lights a cigarette or something catches on fire. That's not what happens. Ah, man, I can't even begin to explain how when shit starts going wrong here, the speed that bolts are shooting off of stuff and the way people are blasted and stuff, it's just like, Jesus, fuck, man, how did anyone survive these things that are happening on this rig? Oh, man, I couldn't take a breath until 5 minutes after the movie. The performances and the acting in this movie are superb. To be honest, Mark Wahlberg to me is kind of a guy that he just kind of plays Mark Wahlberg in every movie. But in this one, he really pulls out his acting chops. Kurt Russell also does awesome as Kurt Russell. He does his job that he needs to do, and man, he does his job all right. And you also have John Malkovich playing the corporate dickhead, and he is the perfect casting for that guy. And this movie, as I was watching it, kind of reminded me of Titanic. Not in the love story kind of way, but just that disaster feel. I remember the first time I saw Titanic, and the whole time shit's going wrong, and people are trying to survive, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe this really happened. That's the same feeling I had watching this movie. And because of that reason, I'm going to have to give this movie marriage material. I can't really find anything wrong with this movie. I will say this, though, they do show some of the real footage of the real people testifying afterwards, kind of near the end of this movie. One thing I really wish they would have done is taken the actors, the real actors in this movie, and put them next to a picture of the real people so you could kind of associate who they are and kind of say what happened to them. They kind of do that, but I wish they would have done that in a little bit better way, because there's a lot of characters it's they don't really tell you what happens to them afterwards, and I really wanted to know. So guys, were you affected by this oil disaster in any way? Do you even remember it happening on the news? After seeing this movie, does it give you a whole new perspective on how dangerous that job is? Let me know and comment below. Now, if you want to see more movie reviews, stick tuned right after this if you can handle it. Go.